Hello children, good morning. So today we will be taking up English lesson unit 3, The Glorious Whitewasher. Okay, every one of you all open English textbook page number 28. So this lesson, the content of this lesson is how the boy, a very smart boy who is very intelligent, by skipping his work and handing over to someone else so that someone else can do his work. Then in return he is going to show them some other thing which interest that the other person, and his work has been done by someone else. Okay children, let's start up. So it was a bright, cheerful summer morning that Saturday. So that was a Saturday and it was bright and very cheerful. That means very happy. The trees were in bloom and their friends filled the air. Fragrance filled the air. So all the trees were blooming the flowers, and the smell of the flowers, that means the fragrance of the flowers, filled the air in that particular area. Redcliffe, beyond the village. So there was a place beyond the village, lay green and welcoming. So that place was very green and apprehensive, so that anyone, whoever enters that place, feels very happy by seeing the greenery all over. Okay, now Tom came walking down a pathway with a bucket of whitewash and a brush. So there was a boy named Tom. He was coming from there holding a bucket of whitewash. Do you know what is meant by whitewash? A kind of a paint which we use to paint a fence or paint a window, paint a door, or paint the walls. He looked at the fence and his shoulder drooped. So when he looked at the fence, his shoulder drooped. I need to do this much of work. He was thinking in this way. It was 9 feet high and 30 yards across. So the fence was 9 feet high and it was about 30 yards across, that much big. He was perhaps the only one unhappy that sunny morning. Plant by plant he painted a little at a time, stopping to rest on a tree stump to catch his breath. So he was very lazily, he was painting plank by plank, one plank. You can see children, so these are the wooden planks. Okay, this is a fence to that particular area, particular house or garden or one yard. So he was painting plank by plank and taking very lazily. In between he was just climbing the tree branch and sleeping there or taking rest over there. There comes another boy, Jim. On the other hand, looked pleased as punch. So he was very pleased. That means he was not doing much work. So he was little bit happy. He came skipping with a tin bucket, singing Buffalo Girls. Buffalo Girls is an English song. He was singing. Who? Jim. He looked happy doing work that Tim had always disliked. So he was doing a work which Tom, the other boy, was always not liking that word. Disliked means what? Not much interested in. Tom remembered that it was certainly less lonely fetching water than painting the fence, because there was always someone to chat up at the pump. That was why Tom always had to be fetched from the pump after an hour, even though it was just a few yards away. So the water pump was very near, few yards away only, but also whenever Tom was getting a chance to fetch the water, he was just chit-chatting over there with a group of boys. With a group of his friends, he was chit-chatting there, and he was taking 1 hour to return back with bucket of water. So he was remembering what Jim was doing at present. That means Jim was fetching the water, Tom was painting the plant. He was thinking, my God, this painting is better than bringing the water. And then he got an idea. It's better that I will fetch a water than ask this boy to what? Paint the fence. Once he thought in that way, then his mind struck in another way. He was thinking that let me offer this work to Jim, then I will be fetching the water, because there he can chat and spend 1 hour time with chatting his friends, right? So then, if you whitewash this stretch, I will fetch water for you, offered Tom. So what Tom offered to Jim? He said, if you whitewash this fence, I am going to fetch the water for you, he offered. Jim declined the offer. Decline means what? He did not agree, he rejected. I said, I will fetch my water, you no need to worry. Aunt Polly, his said, had warned him that Tom would try to exchange tasks. So Aunt Polly, the owner of these two boys, have already told Jim that Tom sometimes he may switch the jobs. That means he exchange the jobs. He may tell you that he wanted to do this and you do that. She already warned Jim. So she planned to look into the whitewashing in a while. So now Jim is telling, see, Aunt Polly is going to come in a very less time. You better do your work and let me do my work. Tom tried to brush Jim Pierce aside and offered to fetch water. He said, oh, come on, please leave about the Tom Polly. You better do my work and I am going to do your work. Then also Jim was not at all happy with taking that work. After all, he said, Tom Polly would never know, but Jim insisted that he would switch duties since he was scared of her anger. Then again Jim was telling, okay, if you want I will do, but Aunt Polly is a very dangerous woman. She's gonna punish you as well as me. Tom tried another argument. Now Tom was trying another argument, trying to convince his friend. He told Jim that he knew his aunt was all bluster means aggressive, very much arrogant. She talked awful, but talk doesn't hurt. He was telling to Jim, see, she talks like that. Maybe Aunt Polly's language is like that. That doesn't mean that she really want to scold us. She just wants us to do the work. That's it, you don't worry, he was telling. He assured. Then Tom remembered his sore toe. He promised to show it to Jim for exchange of duties. Then Tom thought another third idea. That was, he said to Jim, see, I have got a hurt on my toe. It became very sore. That means it became very red and very injured. So I have kept a bandage to it, to my toe. If you are going to whitewash my friends, I am going to show you how I got hurt. I am going to take out the bandage. I am going to show you. Then Jim somehow he got convinced somehow with his words. So now what he did, Jim finally tempted. He stared keenly as Tom took the bandage off. The next moment, with one smack on his behind from Aunt Polly's slipper, he went flying down the lane. So now Jim was standing there and looking keenly, staringly he was looking at Tom, what he was showing in the by taking out the bandage. When he was seeing staringly, from there behind came Aunt Polly's slipper. That means Aunt Polly was watching from little far what these guys are doing, whether they are doing their work or not. So that from there Aunt Polly had thrown her slipper and Jim rolled down the lane and he felt so much of fun. Tom was finally convinced that Aunt Polly could make quite an impact. Now Tom was very scared. My God, now Aunt Polly's aggressiveness, that means her anger is going to what? She is gonna punish us. So we have to be careful because Jim have already, he have tumbled from that lane, right? He fell down there. But even Aunt Polly's sharp eyes could not hold his interest in the whitewashing. Even though he had seen that Jim had fell down with the smack of the slipper from Aunt Polly, even though he was telling, what if someone else comes here and whitewash and do my work, in that exchange even I can do their work or I can enjoy my leisure time. Always Tom was thinking in this way only. Thoughts of his adventures, his friends and he could have been having made him feel very sorry for himself. So at that time he was thinking, so how my friends will enjoy at this age, all my group of friends, they will be going here and there, playing, jumping and boating, swimming, this all. But me, I am doing this silly whitewash which I really don't like at all. Now, to calm himself down, he pulled out his treasures, toys, marbles and stuff that others might consider trash. So now what he did, to satisfy himself, he took out some of the trash from his pocket. Those were some marbles, some broken toys, some orange peels like that. These all know everyone, whatever they throw, this guy will come and pick up that one and put it in his pocket. I don't know. I mean, he thinks that they are very much important things which are very much useful. Whatever the trash is, even if someone is throwing the paper, that also he will pick up and he will put it for himself. Would anyone of his be this be enough to buy someone's service to do the whitewash in his place? Just then these guys, this Tom was thinking, if anyone is giving me these all things, I am going to give them my duty. He was thinking. Just then another guy came. His name was Ben Rogers. Then just then, as he slipped his treasure back to the safety of his pocket, a thought struck him and he picked up the brush. So then he got another thought. Another thought, he picked all of the trash and he kept it back in his pocket. Then suddenly one boy came. Up walked Ben Rogers. Just then, just the person he had been dreading. Now, the person which he was having the fear. The person came. Ben was munching an apple and looking very pleased, mimicking an steamboat, Big Masuri. He was just singing, mimicking some of the dialogues of some famous artists, some famous actors, Ben Rogers. He came from there very happily munching an apple. Munching means what? Eating bite by bite. In this imagination, now Tom was in his imagination. The Ben Rogers was singing and putting the dialogues, saying the dialogues to himself in his imagination. Strangely, he was also the captain, bargaining orders to steer the ship. So he was the captain of the ship on which these guys used to play. Now Tom continued whitewashing. So Tom, by seeing him, he got little bit fear. He continued his whitewashing. Ben spotted him and stopped. Now while going from there, Ben spotted that Tom was whitewashing and he stopped him. Punished, aren't you? He said, you are punished, right? That's the reason you are putting the whitewash here. He said to Tom, who pretended he hadn't heard. Now Tom was pretending, that means he was enacting that he did not hear what Ben was telling from there. Instead, he stopped painting to look appreciatively at what he had done, as he was an artist painting a canvas. Although he longed for a bite of an apple, Ben was munching. Now, when Ben was telling, you are punished, right? That's what you are doing this on. But this guy overheard. That means he pretended that he is not hearing what Ben was telling. But in that, he stopped himself and he was watching how beautifully I have painted the, what you call the fence, and it is looking so beautiful and attractive. He was just enacting in that way. This Ben was seeing to him and to the fence, and he was thinking, maybe the work, whatever he is doing, is more and more interesting. But here, Tom was having in his mind that I want that apple what Ben was munching on. Want to join me for a swim? Ben asked, adding mischievously, or perhaps you can't get away until your work is over. Now Ben is telling to Tom, do you want to come for the swimming? I am going to swim. Do you want to join, or else you are going to miss the chance and you are not going to get this chance again till your work is finished. Tom looked at Ben. What? He said. Ben nodded and pointed to the fence. Now Tom was telling, work? Which work? I am not doing any work. Then Ben said, this one, right? You are painting the fence, right? This is work only what you are doing. Tom just resumed painting. That means Tom continued his painting in a very proudish feel. Whether it's work or not, it suits Tom's fire, he said like a wise man. What he was saying, Tom, whether it is a work or not, it will suit only to me. Only I can do this much of beautiful thing. Ben was surprised. He asked Tom if he liked whitewashing. So now Ben asked, really? Is it a very good and interesting thing what you are doing? And do you really like to whitewash? Tom answered, surprised him. It is not every day that a boy gets a chance to whitewash a fence. He pointed out, Ben had not thought of that. Now, when Ben asked, do you like whitewash? Then this guy is saying, see, every day we do not get this chance, especially a boy, to whitewash. Then we are very lucky. That means I am very lucky to get the chance to paint the fence. He pointed out, Ben had not thought of. Tom seemed to be enjoying whitewashing. How could he miss out on so much of fun? So he begged Tom to let him whitewash a little patch. Now he was thinking, this Ben, that the really great thing, the enjoyable thing Tom is doing, and he went to Tom and he was saying to him, please let me whitewash little patch, 2 or 3 plants only I am going to put the paint, please give me that work. But Tom was telling, no, I am enjoying this work and I wanted to do this work. But whereas Tom was having in his brain that someone have to come to me and do my work, in return I can get the whatever things they have. So the children will be having all the different things, right? All the trash, all the toys. So whenever the children come to him saying that they wanted to whitewash, in return the children used to give him something. Okay, whatever the things they were having, they used to give to Tom, and they were pleading to Tom that they wanted to whitewash. Now Tom pretended to give the request some thought and then turned it off. Then when Ben was telling, please give me that work, the Tom was saying, pretended that he wanted to give, but again he said, no, I don't want to give this work to you. The fence was too special to Aunt Polly, he pointed out. Only 1 in 1,000 or perhaps 2,000 could meet her high expectations that made the task seem more special. Even Ben pleaded with Tom to give him the brush. So when Ben was telling that please give me the brush, he was showing to Aunt Polly from some distance. See, she is Aunt Polly and she want me only to paint this fence because I am special. Out of very less people are going to get this beautiful golden opportunity. Maybe in 1,000, 1 out of 1,000 or 1 out of 2,000 people are going to is going to get this chance. But Ben became more excited. Maybe this fence is very much important and very much special. That's the reason this guy is putting the paint. Finally, the deal was struck. Ben's apple for Tom's brush. Now Ben gave, see, you can take my apple, I'll give my apple to you. Please give me the brush so that I can paint. So Tom was having the mind to steal the apple, right? To take the apple. So he have taken the apple, he was nicely munching on it, sitting on the tree branch, and this guy was doing his work. Tom pretended to surrender the brush reluctantly, means unwillingly he gave the brush to Ben. Although in truth he couldn't hand it over very fast enough. As Ben sweated out, Tom relaxed and planned how to get the work done faster. Now Ben was sweating out, lots of sweat he was getting by painting that fence. But this guy was sitting nicely there eating an apple and planning how should I hand over the work to other people also and take the things from them and to complete the work. And so it was that any boy who came to jeer at the painters was convinced that the job was a prized one and stayed back to whitewash. So whichever children came there, they were telling that, see, I am going to get a prize for this one, and you guys, if you guys are going to do this job for me, you need to give something in return, and this thing you are going to enjoy. Billy Fisher parted with a kite. Okay, Billy Fisher have taken, one of the boy came, he painted and he gave him his kite. You take my kite, I wanted to do the painting. Johnny Miller handed over a dead rat with a string attached to its tail to swing it by. Now another boy came, Johnny Miller, he was having a dead rat with the tail tied to its, the string, the one of the thread of the string was tied to the dead rat's tail. That he gave in return. You take this toy, the dead rat, and I am going to paint this one. By the middle of the afternoon, the fence had been given 3 coats of whitewash, and Tom's riches had multiplied and now included a piece of chalk, a one-eyed kitten, a dog collar, and the pieces of orange peel. So whichever persons came, they gave one thing. First one gave kite, first one gave apple, second one gave kite, third one gave one dead rat, fourth one gave one-eyed kitten, not chicken, I'm extremely sorry children. So one-eyed kitten which was having only one eye. One eye was broken or got spoiled. And one guy gave a piece of chalk. Some of the guy also gave dog collar, and another guy gave some orange peels. I don't know what this guy is going to do with the orange peels. He have given orange peels, and fully all the 30 yards of 30 yards of the fence was whitewashed with 3 coats of the paint. That day, Tom learned that to make something seem worth it, it is necessary to make it seem hard to get. He also learned the difference between work and play. Work is what we are made to do, but play is something we wanted to do. So now Tom learned that how the work has to be done, and we have to tell to the people how the work. That means we have to show that the work is very important thing and very difficult thing, very special thing. Then only other people find the interest to do that work, and that means the Tom will be having the great things from the children. With his newfound riches and wisdom, Tom went home to report the completion of his task to Aunt. Now after finishing all the work with all the stupid toys, whatever the children have given in return, he had kept everything in his pocket and in bag and went home to give the completion of the task to his owner. Okay children, I hope you guys enjoyed and liked the lesson. Once again, go through the lesson and enjoy yourself. Let's get back in the other video. Bye-bye.